boys and girls. This is Mrs. Conway coming to you with a read aloud, and this week's read aloud focuses on our traits of thoughts and actions that we're working on. So I will be reading The Energy Bus for Kids, and it's a story about staying positive and overcoming challenges. It's written by John Gordon and illustrated by Corey Scott. This book is a little bit long. It's divided into 5 different rules for how to approach different challenges in your life. And so I'm going to divide it up into a few different read alouds. So today I'm going to read the introduction and rules 1 and 2. And then tomorrow I'll share rules 3 and 4. And Friday I'll put out rule 5 as well as the wrap up of the book. Some of the teachers and I actually read the adult version of the Energy Bus this summer. So we're really excited to be able to share the kids' version with you. It was Monday, and Mondays were never good for George. He woke up tired and grumpy as usual. He had watched too much television last night. He got hooked on a video game. He went to bed too late and had another fight with his sister, Georgette. His mom was upset because he was late for the bus and still hadn't eaten his breakfast. "It's the most important meal of the day," she said. George knew she was right, but he was too tired and had to hurry to catch the bus. As George ran to the bus stop with his heavy backpack, he could see bus 11 pulling away. George was so upset he wanted to cry, but he didn't. He just put his head down and wondered what else could go wrong today. Luckily, as the bus driver drove away, she saw George stop the bus and yelled out the window, "I wouldn't leave you. Come on, get on the bus." The bus driver wasn't his usual bus driver. George had never seen her before. She said her name was Joy, and she had the biggest smile he had ever seen. He told her his name was George and sat down in the first seat. "What's got you down, and what's with the frown?" Joy asked. "Everything is going wrong," George said. "That's okay, George. You're on my bus now. I call it the Energy Bus. Sit down and I'm going to teach you some rules that will take you on a positive ride through life." "Are you ready to learn the first rule?" Joy asked. "If you are, say yes 3 times. George and all the kids on the bus then shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Joy told the kids on the bus the first rule. Create a positive vision. When you are on the bus going to school, think about having a great day. When you're on the bus going home, picture yourself having a great night. When you think about your future, imagine yourself accomplishing your goals and dreams, said Joy. If you can see it, you can create it. That kind of goes along with our quote this week. If you think you can, you can. If you have a vision, then you also have the power to make it. As George waited for class to begin, he thought about what Joy had said about creating a positive vision. He imagined himself getting an A+ on his spelling test today and hitting a home run in his baseball game on Saturday. Then he remembered his teacher telling him the importance of writing down your goals and drawing pictures of them. So George took out a piece of paper and drew a picture of a spelling test with a big A+ at the top. George knew the pictures would help him remember his positive visions, so he folded his drawings and put them in his pocket. He also drew a picture of himself hitting a home run. That afternoon, as George walked on the bus, Joy gave him a big smile and asked him to sit in the first seat again so they could talk. "How was school?" she asked. "Did you have a better day?" "It's a little better," said George. "I felt happier, and I'm pretty sure I got at least an A on my spelling test. But after that, I had to deal with a bunch of challenges. I tripped in the hallway while walking to class. I couldn't find my math workbook. A few of the mean kids were doing their usual mean things. I got hit in the face with a soccer ball and had to go to the nurse. It just wasn't a good day," said George. "I understand," said Joy. We all will face challenges in life, and that's why it's so important to learn the next rule. If you want to know what it is, say yes 3 times with me. George and everyone on the bus shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." So just to recap on that rule, having a positive vision for your day, that's a strategy that everybody can take every morning, is just kind of thinking about the day ahead and thinking about what they want to accomplish in the day and having a positive mindset for it. It worked well for George to draw out his goals for the day. But as you saw, George also had a lot of challenges as well. So even though he put his mind to the things he wanted to accomplish, he still met challenges along the way. And then that's when Joey's going to teach him how to then work through those with rule number 2. Rule number 2 is fuel your ride with positive energy. "What's positive energy?" asked George. "It's the positive thoughts and emotions you think and feel and share with others," said Joy. "It's smiles, laughter, gratitude, trust, faith, joy, happy thoughts, and beliefs. If you fuel up with positive energy, you will have the power to overcome challenges and achieve your goals." "But what if I feel negative?" asked George. "Well, that's the thing, George. You possess the greatest power in the world," said Joy. "It's the power to choose to be positive instead of negative." So I think it's completely normal for us to have negative feelings and thoughts, but it's thinking about how we can shift those and choose to channel that energy into a more positive way. "So what do you say we fuel up with lots of positive energy on our way home today?" asked Joy. "Yes, yes, yes," George and all the other students shouted. The children cheered so loud the bus shook. Then as the energy bus approached George's bus stop, Joy told George to think of a success from his day and share it with his parents at dinner or bedtime. She said his success of the day could be the one thing that made him smile and feel great. What I love about this part of the book is no matter how bad a day can be, I know that some days are just really hard to get through, we can always usually find one thing that made us smile and made us happy that day. So if we can try to focus on those things instead of focusing on all the negative things that happen, it can really help our mindset. The next morning, George stepped onto the bus feeling more positive than ever. "Someone is looking very happy today," Joy said, smiling at George. "I feel like my tank is full of positive energy," George said with a big smile on his face. "I love it, George. Make sure you keep filling your tank with positive energy throughout the day at school." She gave him a few tips to remember. Smile big, be thankful, and fuel yourself with positive beliefs. Then she asked George to repeat after her. "I am ready for a great day. I believe in myself. I trust that I will accomplish my goals and dreams." The energy bus pulled up to school and George stepped off, ready to take on the day. As he walked towards the building, he heard Joy cheer. "Remember, George, if you fuel up with positive energy, you can go as far as you can dream. Dream big, George." You would think that George stepped onto the bus that afternoon full of positive energy, but he didn't. Instead, he walked on looking very sad and upset. "What's the matter? What happened to my positive energy guy?" Joy asked. "I did everything you said. I fueled up with positive energy, but that didn't stop the bullies at school from teasing me and embarrassing me," George said with tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry you had to deal with bullies," said Joy. "I was bullied when I was a kid, and it didn't feel good." Joy then raised her voice for the entire bus to hear and said, "Listen up, kids. Don't be a bully. Don't be mean. Don't say hurtful things to others. It will take you down the negative road of life. Instead, choose to be kind and travel down the positive road." Joy then turned to George and said, "Bullies are just one of the many types of negative people you will face in your life. Some may say negative things about you. Others feel so bad about themselves that they try to make you feel bad too. Rather than driving your own bus, they're trying to ruin everyone else's ride. That's why I always want you to remember the next rule," said Joy as she picked up a piece of paper from the dashboard and held it up for George and everyone to see. All right, I'm going to stop there for today. Tomorrow we'll talk about Rule 3, which is no bullies allowed, and we'll also get into Rule 4. So just to recap, what we learned today is just trying to create a positive vision for yourself and trying to fuel yourself with positive energy for the day to try to work through overcoming challenges in a positive way.